Hello. Today we're going to take a quick look at using some of the modeling capabilities in Visual Studio 2010 to quickly aid in gaining an understanding of our development project. So I have here loaded up in Visual Studio the Flashcards Cloud Service project, which is a Windows Azure project that we've been working on. And I want to use some of the tools in Visual Studio to see if I can understand how this code works. So I'm going to take a look here at the architecture uh, menu item. And I'm going to first of all look at generating a dependency graph. And I have a few options here for doing so. I can look at it by assembly, by namespace, by class, or I can use a custom definition that allows me to specify things like types and methods and externals. But for my purposes here, I just want to look at the dependency by namespace, say. So I'll select that, and it will go off and reflect through my code and come back with a graphical representation of the structure of this solution by namespace. And so this is kind of nice. I can get a kind of a high-level overview of how the different namespaces in the solution fit together. And this is an interactive diagram too, in that I can drill into each of these things if I want to get some additional detail on the classes involved and the methods involved in each of these namespaces. So that's kind of a nice way to begin to explore the structure of this solution. You can see also that by these gray arrows that connect the different namespaces together, I get an indication of the relative degree of coupling between the different namespaces in terms of how much calling or interaction is involved between objects in the different namespaces. So for example, I have a fairly high degree of coupling between this flashcards web role namespace and the externals namespace, which primarily consists of the Microsoft Windows Azure namespace and system namespace that we have used or included in the project. So that's kind of useful for somebody coming in to look at this code base for the first time, to very quickly gain a visual representation of how the project is structured. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and close this down. And one of the I won't save it. The other diagram types that's often useful to look at is what's called the UML, or Unified Modeling Language, a sequence diagram. So let's say I'm interested, and the sequence diagram shows the different call interactions between various objects in the project. So let's say I'm interested in looking at the worker role. What I might do here is open up my source code, and let's say I'm interested in generating a sequence diagram for how this run method works. Well, if I put my cursor down inside the run method and then right click on my code surface and say generate sequence diagram, at this point I'm just going to accept the defaults. It will go off again, reflecting through the code, and generate for me this standard UML sequence diagram that shows the various objects involved and their lifelines when they begin and when they terminate, and the call sequencing between the various objects. So again, I could discover this by reading through the source code, and ultimately the code is the truth. But using a tool like this allows me to helps me basically to come to that level of understanding perhaps more quickly than I would if I simply had to read and deduce it from the source code.